Well, hello.
Hi. Mind my Okay, I lost all my glasses, and the only ones I could find are the size of my head. I look like Mr. Magoo.
I feel like we've been down this path before with these glasses.
These are the backup options.
Although those ones are better. I feel like you had a pair like that were cheetah print.
Girl, it's a 3-pack from Costco. It's the same glasses, but
Three
cheetah
back.
print. And I love
I
those
can't.
fuckers. I don't know where they are. Otherwise, you would be,
That's what would be on your face.
yeah, yeah. So, hi, guys.
Hi. Before we start, I just wanted to. Okay, so the setup that Ashley and I have to go through to run this podcast is extensive. Like, I wish, as a matter of fact, the next time we're recording, I honestly think we should set up our phones to record what goes on behind the
Yeah, yeah.
scenes. I'm telling you all this
It's
because
chaos.
with the hopes that anyone who hasn't filled out our survey, if you love us even a little bit, if you could fill out the
Even
survey.
if you don't love us.
I know, honestly, call it your duty, your civic duty for the day. If you could just fill out that survey, it's not only lets us know what you think of the podcast, what you love, what you might not love, but we can't
Grow.
get sponsors without finishing this survey. So if you have 15 minutes, I am not past begging, which is where I feel I am today.
Listen,
So
man.
this is me begging. Please fill out the survey.
Help
I'll put it up on
us.
social again. It would be really fantastic if we could have,
Beautiful.
because once we have a sponsor, we can then have an office, a proper office,
And
where
we
all our
won't look
shit will
like
just be
this.
where all our shit will just be set up all the time. That would be great.
So before we get into today's episode, I feel like this episode might piss a lot of people off. And you know what? I just want to full disclosure. If, you're easily offended, if you feel a certain type of way, maybe we're not the people for you. And that's okay. We don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. But we cuss like sailors. We're currently drinking alcohol on a Monday afternoon because that is just part of this is our so y'all go out on a Saturday night and you have drinks with your friends. This is our time when there's no kids, there's no, working, grass to cut, house to clean. So yes, it's 2 o'clock on a Monday, but this is our day off to have the drinks and talk some shit.
And I want everyone to know, we had this moment where we were like, are we going to, because you can get this video on YouTube, by the way. So we're doing video now. And we had this moment where we were like, are we going to drink? And then immediately we were both like, well, yeah.
And I vape. So
Ash
Chantel
vapes.
smokes cigarettes. She doesn't smoke in her house, so she will not be smoking. But you know what? You
No.
might see me hit my vape, and I'm sorry.
I'm not. Do not apologize.
I know. I'm so Canadian. I'm sorry.
I know, honestly, calm down.
So I want to start our episode and get into this because I feel like it's going to be a little spicy and it's going to bring up a lot of trauma for Chantel.
Good. That's everything I want for a Monday afternoon.
Take a sip, girl.
Just trauma surfing. Let's go.
Chantel. So we are very authentic on this podcast.
Yes.
We don't apologize for who we are, what we are. And we have discussed, if you're new here, Chantel was raised in a very religious household.
Very
Now,
religious.
I want to talk about your experience of what you felt in those moments where you didn't feel like you could live up to the expectation of growing up in such a strict religious household. And so if you don't know, my episode today is about what, strict religious beliefs can lead into when you don't feel like you're enough.
And I want to start by saying that I truly believe a lot of, unless it's like a cult, a lot of these churches and these religions, they do have the best intentions.
100%.
They're not coming out the gate trying to ruin your life, trying to tear you down. The problem that I had and that I've spent years in therapy talking over is that who I am and who I was being stifled because I didn't fit into the box that we were told, well, you have to fit into that. And so there was what looked like rebellion along the way. And it wasn't actually rebellion. It was just that I tried fitting into every single corner, every single box that I could within the church. And I never fit in anywhere because I am this like dark, moody bitch.
My witchy friend.
Yeah. And so a lot of the trauma came from, I was told I didn't need a college education because you don't need an education to be a mom and a wife, because
Right.
that was it. That was
Your
kind
whole
of
purpose
your whole
was
purpose.
to
Yeah.
raise a family, be a house, wife, be a
Yeah,
homemaker.
exactly, exactly. So when I had these dreams and these aspirations to do literally anything but that, it was met with a lot of, well, you're rebellious. There must
Yeah.
be something, you're sinning. Like, why wouldn't you want this? What's
Right.
that TikTok where they're like, who wouldn't want this?
Everybody wants this.
Everybody wants this. Yeah, that was basically what it was. So, and it led to a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, I was not allowed to wear pants. I had to wear a skirt or a dress, and wasn't supposed to cut my hair. And it was a very much, like I said earlier, women are for being a wife, being a mother, and that is your purpose.
There's nothing wrong. If you grow up and you're like, I just want to be a mother, beautiful. But when
Oh,
that's not your dream and someone's telling you you are wrong, you are, and like it also goes to say, like, I have a lot of friends who are part of the LGBTQ plus community, and they felt, because we were older. So back in the 90s, it was like, you're gay. Like, that's crazy, and like, it's the same
right.
thing. Like when you're a woman, if one, hat doesn't fit for all women, one hat doesn't
And
fit
it's,
for all men.
yeah, and it's really funny. And my mother thinks it's hilarious because I bucked against this for my entire life and my entire first marriage. And now, like, Matt plants me a garden, and I'm like, I just want to be a housewife and plant my plants
Chantal is
and
ridiculous
pickle
with
my
her garden.
pickles.
I just want to sit on patios and eat tacos. That's my dream.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So yeah, it
so
wasn't a great experience.
and it's beautiful to have faith. I think everyone should have faith in whatever it is, are following or whatever you believe in. There's no right or wrong answer there. But this story is going to take you back to a place where maybe you didn't feel like you fit into a group that you felt like you were supposed to fit in. And this situation came with catastrophic results. Without
And
further ado.
and before you start, I could
Yeah.
see how that would happen,
Yeah.
because it's, you're told you have to be a certain way, you're told you have to act a certain way. And so when your insides are screaming out against that, if you don't have proper willpower, if you don't have, any semblance of anger management, you're fucked. You're going to
Yeah.
do some
Yeah.
bad shit.
Yeah. Or just a support system saying, hey, you're allowed to be who you want to
Yes.
be.
Yeah.
Be that. Be that. Who cares? There are plenty of, if you feel like a fucking weirdo, come be our friend, because everyone thinks we're fucking weird because we are weird and it's the best. Hi. Okay. So let's get into this story. I want to take you into Michigan, a little tiny place called Kego Harbor. There is the most beautiful rural community down there. We're going to talk about the early months of 2018. So I want you to kind of put yourself into this community. A lot of the homes are big and beautiful and manicured lawns and just a safe space for families. That this is the vibe.
It's
I
always
know.
okay. I want to
I
talk about
know.
this just briefly before you really get
Yes,
into this.
yes.
Why? Okay, so we grew up and we would watch whatever on TV, and it was always, the scary country roads that were just terrifying and held secrets and
No, man.
demons. No, it's in suburbia.
Suburbia is fucking
It's on a
terrifying
street.
now.
It's on a street called Maple Avenue. That's where the terror happened.
I feel more safe living right off of Rito, where we have an epidemic of druggies and shit,
Uh-huh.
because I'm like, they're not hiding who they are. I'm scared of fucking Joe Blow in the suit down there with the perfect family because you know what?
Yeah.
I think of Gacy. I think of all these people. I'm like,
Honestly, like more
I
times than
see
not,
you. Yeah.
this is how our stories start. And it's like, did we get it wrong?
Well, it's exactly that. So, in this beautiful community is the Stuart family. You would have driven down that road, not looked twice at this household. It was a quiet little corner lot, very modest, very charming, warm beige siding, a porch swing, all the things you dream about.
I do dream about a porch swing.
I know you do. I know. It's kind of like a quaint little home in a Hallmark movie.
Uh-huh.
The lawn was always well done, neat. The curtains were drawn just enough to offer privacy, but not secrecy. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like typical family home. Nothing creepy's going on in there.
No.
To me, it was the kind of home that would feel comfortable, safe. You'd be like, yeah, you can go there for a play date, no problem. But
Uh-huh.
behind those peaceful walls, the Stuart family was quietly unraveling. So, at the center of this house was Lauren Devine Stewart. This woman was stunning, and we always post graphics of our socials so you could take a look. Beautiful woman with a soft voice, a gentle demeanor. She was actually a former model.
Uh-huh. I
So
can
I'm
see
like,
that.
get it, Lauren, you're a babe. I love it.
When I saw the pictures of her, I was like, oh, wow, look at you.
Hello, Lauren. She had once graced beauty campaigns. She was in magazines in her 20s, but that wouldn't, to me, be what defined her because beauty is exterior. There are millions of I see beautiful women every single day. But what people mostly remembered about her was her kindness. And to me, that is everything. Be hot, be a smoke show, but when you're a fucking good person, like, you're a 10 out of 10, baby.
That's where it's at.
Yeah. She had this air of grace about her. I want to say the kind of woman that you're walking down the street, they look at you and they smile and you actually feel the smile. Do you know what I'm saying? Just that beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
Her friends described her as extremely loyal, fiercely devoted to her family. Now, Lauren had been married to Daniel Stewart for more than 2 decades. Dan was brilliant. He was a medical researcher for the University of Michigan. He didn't need to talk about his achievements ever. He was the most humble man, very quiet. He kind of meet those people that are just so intelligent, so successful, but they're very humble and quiet about it.
Yes,
Just like,
I
oh yeah, that's
appreciate that.
nothing. Like
I
that's
appreciate
nothing.
that.
I have a PhD.
Well,
No big
okay,
deal.
no, I shouldn't say that. I don't like it when people are like, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just my little PhD."
It's everything.
No, I'm like, you better
Celebrate.
be super proud of your PhD. But there is a tenderness. Something just happened to your mic.
I dropped my phone.
There is a tenderness to those people where I'm just like, they're not rubbing it in anyone's face.
No,
And I
and
do appreciate that.
He was very much like that, very grounded in a way that everyone, it didn't matter if you were, working at the coffee shop or you were a doctor. He treated everyone fairly the same. He was just like, we're all just people in this world.
Lovely.
These two were a team. They were a real partnership and they loved each other like fiercely. They had 2 kids. Stephen was 27 and Bethany was 24. Both kiddos are thriving in life. They're both in college. I feel like they would have been the kids that you would have been like, those are my babies. They're doing everything. They were very proud. They were all very close. Family dinners on Sundays, always joking with each other, but the kind of jokes that only they knew about and would giggle, that unconditional, like, he kind of thing. Cute, super cute. And everyone around them would have said they were good people. They were just a great family. Now, Lauren worked part-time as a personal trainer.
Okay.
Same. Back then. But mostly she was the glue of the household, which in a lot of times there's always that one person that kind of keeps everyone fluid. She spent years being a full-time mom. She raised her kids with a quiet, intentional warmth. She was soft-spoken, but she was never weak. So I'm a fierce to be reckoned with, but I'm soft and gentle and kind until I'm not.
Mama meant business.
Yeah. She cared very deeply, obviously, being a personal trainer and an ex-model, how she looked. She presented herself with grace. She always looked very well put together.
Uh-huh.
But on the inside, our girl, she was battling something no one could see. So we're going to get into that because the Stuart family made a decision that changed everything. And before we continue, do you ever think back on your life? Because I think about, like, I've lived a life. I've lived many lives. If you think like, okay, if I had made a different decision in that moment, what would my life be?
I do think about that, but not in a longing way. Like, I don't look back and go, I wish I had.
No, but it's so crazy to think
Except
about.
for one thing.
What was it?
If I could go back to 18-year-old me and just be like, I know you don't know what this is, but like a podcast, you're going to want to start one of those right away.
Like, hello?
I would have done that. I would have done that. Although, you know what? I say that, and then, I mean, we could go nuts on this right now because I say that, and then anyone who knows what the butterfly effect is, then I'm like, if I had done that, would I be rich and comfortable and doing what I love every day, but not have my daughter not have my Matthew, like not have you? No thanks.
So to really understand what happened to Lauren, you have to understand what it means to be a Jehovah Witness. So not just like, I know what we were all thinking. We're like, oh, the door knockers, the pamphlet givers.
Right.
No. Okay. The mindset of being a Jehovah Witness.
Okay.
Now, before y'all come for me, I'm just talking about what I know. I'm talking the facts about what happened here.
I'm not coming for you.
I don't care if you want to knock on doors. Like, that's cool. If that gives you peace and happiness, knock away, bro. But this is what happened, and I'm sorry that it happened.
You're gonna find me in a really not great situation if you come to my door. But that's not on you.
No.
Just because I'm dressed like I'm homeless.
I feel like at the end of this episode, maybe we should give a confession about what we did about 18 years ago. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it involved 2 Mormon boys.
Why am I blocking this out?
2 Mormon boys that we found walking down the road, and we gave them a job. I feel like this might be the end of our episode so that we can all shit on Ashley and young Chantel.
Well, you have to tell us now. Okay.
Chantel and I, in our early 20s, had a cleaning business together. I had a young child. Chantel hadn't had her little girl yet. We needed flexibility. We needed money. We were just starting out in our lives. My house had burnt down. Shit was whack, okay? So just before you come at us, just know we were struggling. And we had this client we were cleaning for. And this poor woman, I think she was Spanish. She didn't know a lot of people. Was awful. Yeah. She didn't have friends to help her. No. And she was moving. And she was like stressed. She's like, my movers, they're not coming. And she was moving suddenly. Suddenly moving. Yeah. In a bad situation. Yeah. My girl here and I were like wanting to help. And she's like, if you can find me movers, I'll pay you such and such amount of money. And we're like, fuck, how are we going to do that? Well, fate would have it that we're cruising down the bicycles. Road. And we see these guys and they're doing the door. Is there anything I can help you with? Because in the Mormon faith, I believe, and I might be wrong, basically they explained to us that, you know, they had to help people without getting payment of any kind, not even a glass of water. It kind of sounded like what the kids have to do to graduate, like the community. Yeah. So hours. They were doing their hours and they were looking desperately, going door to door. And Chantel and I are like, wait a minute, we have something you can do. We were like, how strong are you guys? I wish, like, they were the sweetest kids. They wouldn't accept even water because any payment was against what they were doing. But someone got paid. Hey, she said, I will pay you X amount of dollars if you find me movers. They needed hours. We needed money. Everyone fucking won. But anyways, morally, I don't know where this stands. But you know what? Listen, it's one of my fondest moments. And I can't believe that I blocked that out. I'm looking at you like, hello? Wow. We've done some shit in our day. Though. I was going to say, in the grand scheme of things, if we're talking about morals, this is not the worst of it. So okay, so back to the story. So in the Jehovah Witness faith, the community isn't just your church. It's literally your entire world. It's not just a place you go on Sunday, forget about it during the week. All your friends will be part of this church, your family, your support system, your sense of identity. And when you step out of line or question the doctrine or defy the rules, there is always a price to pay. And that price is being shunned from the church.
Oof.
Like,
Okay.
fuck around. We don't want anything to do with you. You're not part of our community. And Lauren and Dan had been devoted members of the Jehovah Witness for most of their adult lives. So you can imagine they raised Stephen and Bethany in this church. They attended Kingdom Hall regularly.
Okay.
They were very active. They were known. They were trusted. It was the fabric of their entire life.
Okay.
Everyone they associated with were part of this community. But as the kids started getting older, something began to shift because Dan and Lauren wanted more for their kiddos.
Okay.
They wanted them to go to college. And it's funny that you had brought that up earlier in the episode. They wanted them to explore the world, to grow into their own lives.
Yeah.
But in the eyes of the Jehovah Witness leadership, higher education is highly discouraged.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's highly
didn't know that.
discouraged. It's kind of seen as a path towards arrogance, worldliness, and even spiritual corruption.
It's interesting though that, and like maybe he came to it later in life, but it's interesting though that Dad was such a scholar. Like he clearly went to school.
So yeah, it was
And
their
so
adult
did-
lives they joined.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I really struggle with this shit.
I struggle with this as well. So sending their kids to college was not just seen as like a parenting choice. It was seen as a betrayal of their faith.
This is so interesting to me because in Christianity, the man needs to go to college to support his family. So you're telling me that whether you're male or female, you're not supposed to be going for higher education?
No.
So how are they supposed to support their families?
Right.
I'm struggling.
So eventually the Stuarts, they sat down and they're like, okay, how are we going to play this? Because we want this for our kids. Our children want this. They want to experience the world. They want to be able to follow their dreams and their paths. And they deserve that. Everyone deserves that. So they made the really hard decision to leave the church. And the response was immediate.
Yes. Yeah.
They were disfellowshipped.
Yeah.
It's literally a formal excommunication. Like, you exist, now you're gone. Like, there's in the Jehovah Witness world, it's not like a gentle, okay, well, you can't come here anymore. You can't sit at our table. We'll miss you. Toodaloo. Good luck in your adventure. That's not, it's literally like a cutoff. Like, from the moment on, friends won't speak to you. They're not allowed to speak to you.
Well, because then they're in trouble.
Well, 100%. So like the people you've confided your deepest thoughts and feelings, they won't even make eye contact with you at the grocery store. Like you are a ghost.
And you know what? Just as a little aside, that was probably the hardest part of leaving the church because, and it's not, my church was not like that at all. They didn't have those structured rules, but I left the church. I left the faith. I'm out on my own. I'm doing my own thing. And it's not that there was ever a falling out or a fight or anything, but you grow apart. So people that I was really close to who, I raised my daughter alongside, I still love them so much, but it'll never be the same.
Well, and you think about it, you're like, okay, these are people I've laughed with, I've had relationships with, and all of a sudden they're gone. It's like someone died, and it's a grieving process.
Yeah, and there was a lot of guilt initially because, for those that don't know, I was very, very sick a few years after I gave birth to my daughter and had to have a hysterectomy because of it. And I just, my church family showed up in droves to support us. And so it's hard, I always wish the best for them, but it doesn't sound like that was the case with the Stuarts.
No, it was basically like, okay, bye, it was nice to see you. Like, that's just heartless to me. I don't know. It bothers me. And for Lauren, this was like the most devastating thing that had ever happened to her. Like, she was so crushed. It's
that was our whole community.
Yeah,
Just gone.
essentially, she didn't just lose friends and a church, she lost her identity because that was who she was for so long. She didn't have another identity. That was
This
her
is why we
tribe.
need to love ourselves.
Right?
Yikes.
So the people she had leaned on for support and validation, all of a sudden they're ghosts. And she's cast out of everything she's ever known in the community. And like, imagine the silence in that moment. It would be deafening. You'd just be like,
Honestly.
I don't have friends outside of here. I don't know where to go. Who do I turn to? I have no support. And like, while I was going through this case, her friend, Joyce Taylor, later had said that Lauren did try and move on. She joined a new gym. She volunteered.
So
She
she was
focused on her
trying.
family. She was trying to find a new world, essentially. But it was very obvious and clear to those who loved her the most that she was unraveling. She'd cry over coffee. You know, she'd talk about the pain of abandonment. She felt judged, unloved, forgotten. She had once said to Joyce, "It feels like everyone died."
Well, and I imagine that it would be really difficult as well. And I was just thinking about this right now. It would be so difficult to still have the faith because they obviously still believed what they believed. So to still have the faith, but to lose,
It would shook you to your core.
honestly.
Right? So she tried to rebuild, she tried to fill
Yeah.
the void, but shunning doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your sense of self. And for
Mhm.
someone like Lauren, who had always been, you know, all about grace and poise and connection, this crushed her. So on the surface, she kept up appearances, her hair was done, her smile flickered, like she, you know, and sometimes we see the most hurt or damaged person, they can put the fake smile on and look okay, and deep down they're just not okay.
Mhm.
She is in like despair. So that being said, her husband, not even her husband, knew for her children how deep this wound was because dinner was on the table, hugs, laughs, love, but she was like going through an inner turmoil that no one could see.
Oof.
So I'm going to take you to a Thursday morning in Kego Harbor, Michigan. It's snowing. It's just this beautiful morning. The streets are quiet, another peaceful frozen morning. There was no sign, no sound, no single disturbance or a hint that something was not right in these beautiful tiny homes. But inside the Stuarts' beautiful winter wonderland looking home laid 4 bodies.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay.
4 bodies.
4
Okay.
bodies. So the Stuart house is still, the lights are off, there's no movement. But what no one knew, what no neighbor could have ever imagined, was that sometime in the dead of night, Lauren Stuart had made a decision that would end her entire world. Now, the events of this night remain mostly unseen. What we know and what we gather from what happened inside that house, we've collected through forensic reports, police reports, timelines, but I'll tell you what we know.
Okay.
Okay? All I can do is speculate with the evidence and the facts that we do have because no one truly knows what really happened inside this house.
Wow. Okay.
Lauren waited until everyone was home. Her husband, Daniel, had finished work and settled in for the evening. So, normal night, everyone's kind of finishing up their day. Her son, he was there visiting, and her daughter, Bethany, too. So, they were in the early 20s, still in and out of the house, but
So
everyone
the
was
kids
home.
didn't live at home full time?
They were in college.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, you go home on weekends, do
Yeah.
your laundry, raid mom and dad's fridge. So kind of part-time, right? There's no sign of a struggle. Outside, it looks like everyone showed up at home. Everyone's home, doing their thing, having dinner, chilling, watching TV, whatever it is that a normal family does. There were no loud noises reported, no smashed furniture, no final scream, nothing. What police found the next morning was silence. And like, to me, that is almost more creepy. I need to know all the details. Otherwise, my brain makes it even scarier. But this is what I know. Just after 8 a.m., a welfare check was requested because someone close to the family was trying to reach them. Calls were going unanswered, texts unread, and it was literally like these people had disappeared off the face of the earth because no one is getting a hold of anyone.
It's so interesting to me. Like, who in my life
Me. I about made a welfare check about an hour ago when I was like, hi, are we meeting online? And then you just didn't answer. I'm like, are you okay?
No, but I mean, we couldn't assume that the night before they were sending texts, receiving texts, talking to people, whatever. So it's kind of like, that seems really fast to me.
Really quick. So I'm
That seems
assuming,
quick.
what I'm assuming from what I have found is that maybe there was a plan in place. They
Yeah,
didn't show
yeah.
up.
And it was just
Something like
unlike
that.
them.
But it has never been like spoken about or no one has really said.
I will say, if I can't get a hold of you, and it seems unlikely, once I text Mike, he has about 25 minutes to answer me. If he doesn't, I'm coming.
Yep. Same.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So the police respond. They're like, okay, let's go do this welfare check. I'm sure they're, sleeping in or whatever. They knock on the door. There's no answer. The door is open though. So they're like, well, let's just poke our head in and check it out. Silence. And it was the kind of deafening silence where they're like, okay, let's just look, because obviously there's a reason. And for most states, Canada, it's not as black and white, but if the police think that there could be a problem, they do have the right to go in and take a look. Canada,
Thank
it's
God.
not like that.
I don't even get me started on Canada. I'm in a mood with Canada right now.
So what they found inside would haunt even the most seasoned officers, because they found 4 bodies, all shot execution style in the head, one by one. Daniel, Stephen, Bethany, and Lauren. There were no signs of forced entry, no robbery, no signs of a struggle. The gun was there, so was the suicide note, handwritten by Lauren. Its full contents have never been released, but investigators describe it as a long, detailed, and emotional farewell. A final, this is why I'm doing this.
I know that this is selfish. I wish we had that note.
I also wish. It was almost like a release of her shame. Like, she wrote out all the things that she felt shame for. And for some parts of this note, they said it was a cry for understanding. But there's one more thing.
Sorry, sweetheart. No.
This part bothered me. I don't know what is wrong with me. Maybe there's a psychologist listening and they're like, well, this girl's fucked, because this part bothered me the most. I think I have a problem. The family dog.
No.
It was like a teeny tiny little mixed breed that had been with their family for years, was found shot in the bathtub but wrapped in a towel.
Okay.
That's shattering to me, because
I'm unimpressed.
She obviously killed the dog, wrapped the dog in a towel, but like still she had either murdered her entire family before she did that, or she killed the dog first. But then I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, because they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? So that was the final one.
Everyone was dead first, and she was like, oh my God,
I killed the dog.
No one's going to take care of him. It's
very strange. That's very strange to me.
This whole thing is very strange.
Yeah. So police obviously declared it as a murder-suicide almost immediately. There was no doubt who pulled the trigger. No question. They were not like, this looks staged. No, this is what it is. They looked through everything. There was no financial hardship, no violent history, no sudden trauma. Just a woman who had lost her place in the world.
No
shit. A woman who had once had everything. She had beauty, a loving husband, 2 thriving children, community, faith. And she literally watched it slip in slow motion, and she couldn't handle it. And I'm here. Okay, so here we are. We know what this woman did. We're in it. I think what she did was selfish, and I think it's horrible. But I also think that she wasn't the face of evil. I think this woman unraveled so quickly that she was literally in the middle of an emotional collapse, and she just like snapped. I don't think this was like I think she was dying inside for so long that something just like...
This is not evil. I don't see this as evil. I mean, like, killing your whole family is a pretty shitty thing to do. This just goes to show how important self-care and self-love and fixing your insides are. Because clearly her whole reason of being was tied up in her community and her church. And so when that went away, she had nothing. She had no substance to her.
Don't get me fucking started. And I'm going to say this. To me...
Girl, you say it.
I'm going to say it. To me, this whole being shunned from your community bullshit, grow up. This is so Regina George. You can't sit at our fucking table because you don't... Like, fuck off. Grow the fuck...
No, I hate it. And I feel that. I feel that really hard. And it's interesting because the church that I grew up in is not the church I ended up in.
No.
Before I left. And I will say the last church I was part of, it was a Baptist church, healed
I was
a
also
lot.
part of that church with
You
Telly. She brought me
were.
along.
Yep. It healed a part of me because I had grown up in a sect of Christianity that it was their way or the highway. There was no soft line. There was no gray line. There was none of that. It was black or white. If you didn't do this, then this. And I will say the Baptist church healed a lot of trauma that I had because they weren't like that. They were very welcoming, very understanding, very,
I loved
no,
those. I loved our time at that church. I loved the
yeah.
people.
No one was being shunned. Like there were
No.
people with, there were addiction issues. There were people that struggled with all sorts of things and they were just loved. And so I agree with you. It does not have to be this way.
No. So the news obviously breaks that,
God.
and it's a small community. So it's like wildfire. Like fucking the neighbor finds out, the whole town knows within 20 minutes. 4 family members dead, murder, suicide. When people find out who it is, it's like, that's my personal trainer in the gym who was always smiling and beautiful and perfect. And her life seems so great. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she pulled the trigger. Like, what? No, it just didn't make sense to anyone. A lot of people in interviews were like, the Stuart family, that doesn't happen to families like that. That's not the thing. No one, had ever seen violence. No one had ever heard fighting through the walls, no red flags, just a family. And I think that's what made it worse for everybody was there was no warning shot. The flags weren't flagging. Everyone was like, just a typical day.
Nobody, like even her friends and stuff, nobody said that there was any kind of warning.
Never. She saved face at every turn.
Wild.
She was the perfect wife, perfect mother, perfect friend, always kind, always, this girl was just everything you ever imagine, a lovely person to be. And yet she murdered her entire family dog, and then killed herself without any warning.
Yeah. And it seems like it was just back to back to back to back. Like if she was able to kill all 3 adult family members.
Yeah. Yeah. So the community that weekend gathered, people held a vigil outside, outside the, obviously the crime tape. They stood there, they watched, they prayed, they cried.
I'm so bitter. Like now the community can come show up. The fuck?
So
guys,
this is all happening. And Joyce, remember friend Joyce, a longtime friend of Lauren's, she didn't tiptoe around it. She didn't use like soft words or anything. She called out the Jehovah Witness Church by name. With a trembling voice, this badass bitch, sobbing, looked straight into the news cameras and said, 2 days ago, 4 people died as a result of your shunning process.
Yikes.
She spoke directly to the church, to those who had once laughed with Lauren, worshiped beside her, without a word, turned their backs. She said, 5 years ago, you people pulled your support from this small family. I was there when Lauren was disfellowshipped. You left her. You abandoned her. You pretended she didn't exist. You did that to her. You isolated her, and it broke her. Her voice was cracking, and I listened to it, but her message was like very fucking clear. This was the cost of a religious abandonment. And that is what this episode is about.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is a fucking problem.
Yes. And and you know what? You're right. We are going to piss people off, and they are going to come for us, and that's okay. If that's what you need to do to feel better or to feel whole, you come at us. We can take it. The problem here that is so frustrating is I don't care what you do with your religion. I don't care what your religion tells you to wear, what it tells you to eat. Amen. Hallelujah. You do you, boo. When it starts to branch out into like shunning, come on, guys.
It's gross. It's gross.
God is love.
Yes.
And I feel like with a lot of these religions or these churches or whatever, they lose sight of that.
100%. Because you're not going to fucking throw stones in a glass house. Not I'm getting a little worked up here. But
That's
you're going to
okay.
tell
You can
me
get
you're
worked
without
up.
sin in your religion? Fuck that.
No.
Nobody is
No.
perfect. And you know what? She wanted something for her kids. Did that make her a bad person?
Okay, and
Absolutely not.
this is the thing that is, I understand structure, I understand rules, I understand commandments. I do. I get it.
Yep.
And I understand that for so many different religions all across the world, it is vitally important that they maintain these standards and these commandments and these commitments. What we're talking about here and why we're worked up is because the shunning should not be like, come on, guys,
Who
like
is
have
any
common
human being
sense
on this earth to be able to judge someone
to
to the point
shun
where you
someone else.
pretend they don't exist? Fuck
Yeah.
off. You meet them with
And
love and you meet them with respect and you love them anyways.
And might we just and I'm teetering on some dangerous ground here, but I'm gonna do it because I've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
Who she just wanted to send her kids to school. She wasn't chaining children up in her basement. She just wanted to send her children to school to give them a higher education.
It's bananas. It's bananas.
And
So
also on that note, because now I'm on a fucking tangent.
here she's going.
Listen up, guys, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. You may feel like, especially if you've been abandoned by your community or by your parents or by your partner or by anyone that you valued so deeply, there's another group out there for you that's going to love you
100%.
more. There's another person out there that's going to love you more.
Yes.
You build the family that you want. It's not worth it. It's not
Who
worth
gives a
this.
fuck what a bunch of fucking assholes think about you? Because they're
Yeah.
assholes. If someone
Yeah.
can't accept you for the decisions you make and love you for whatever the fuck you want, if I told Chantel tomorrow, hey, I'm joining a cult, makes me happy, I'm gonna shave my head, she'd be like, well, okay.
I'd be like, I'm bringing the clippers.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Because that's what you do. You
Yes.
encourage and you accept and you love, and then when they fall on their face, you're there to pick them up, give them a hug, brush them off, and help them fucking carry on. That's just life. That's what we do as humans. And if you can't do that, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So it's so funny that this was your case today, because last night I got into the mood of like, would you love me if I was a worm?
Oh yeah.
You know this?
I asked Mike if he would swim through a river of mayonnaise to save me off of a fucking island. Like, I don't know. There's something going on in this.
Yeah. It's Mercury retrograde,
Right.
but we could talk about that for a whole other
All
episode.
day.
Anyways.
So.
No, and like last night I was just like, could I basically come to you and tell you that I wanted to like do anything? And you would just be like,
this was Matt.
Right,
this was Matt.
babe, let's go.
Like,
honestly, he was just like, yeah, of course.
Because he puts up with our shenanigans on a daily basis.
If you guys knew the shit that we come to Matt with, where we're like, okay, so the thing the other night that I came to him with is I was like, I'm standing outside, like hands on my hips. And that's never good.
He's like, fuck.
And I'm like, I want to double the size of our garden next year. He's like, where's that going?
Like, hello?
And I was like, we're right here. He's like, what about the fire pit? I'm like, we'll move the fire pit. Like, I'm just
like, this is what's happening.
But you know what's great about him? He's not like, and this is
never shuts it down. He's like,
Jehovah Witness Church, take note. He was just like, I don't think we can do that, but we can try.
Why not?
That's all I'm asking for.
So sorry that we always get off track because we're besties and you're just.
I'm not sorry at all. This is what you signed up for.
She's never sorry.
Episode 77.
True.
If you didn't know this is what was happening, welcome.
Yeah. So the saddest thing. Okay, this made me sad, and I want to tell you about it because it made me sad. One of her friends did speak up, because now they're speaking up. But anyways, that's for a whole other topic. Talked about her loneliness and her sadness and how she still would dress up for events she wasn't invited to. Like, what?
Okay, that just stabbed me in the heart. What do you mean? What, like,
so she would know that there was like an event going on amongst her old friend group. She would get dressed up because she's like, well, maybe like I want to be there. Like, which tells me, like, it just made me, I'm like,
that literally broke my heart picturing her like in a gown.
Yeah, like maybe they'll call, maybe they'll want to see me too.
Because
she loved them. Those were her people.
Jesus. Oh God, I am so upset.
Now, I'm going to fucking piss you off because this fucking.
I'm
So,
already pissed off. Let's go.
the Jehovah Witness organization never issued a public statement, never acknowledged her, nothing, just stayed silent like she didn't exist.
Pardon fucking me.
Yeah. They never came forward. No one said, like, we're really sorry this happened to this family. We loved her. Nothing. They sat silent. They said nothing. They fucking didn't even try.
Okay, you know what? This isn't even for anyone who's still listening and really pissed off. This isn't even about the religion. This is common decency as human beings. What the fuck is wrong with you? What do you mean?
And here's the thing. Like, not one person from that fucking community showed up for her, showed up for the grieving family members that, with the kids who had been a part of that church since they were born. They had nothing to fucking say.
That's disgusting.
You have nothing to say.
I'm actually so grossed out by that. And you know what? I'm not saying, and again, I'm not putting all churches and all communities in the same basket, but like, come on. Come on.
Yeah. So to me, and I listened to this whole thing that Joyce, who was brave enough to come forward, she said, like, you shunned someone for wanting an education for their children. Then obviously, like, Lauren was going through something. And obviously, if you kill your family and you kill yourself and all of that, there's a mental illness starting to develop here. But she was abandoned.
And again, I'm not saying, and you're absolutely right. There was a mental illness there because you have to be mentally unwell to murder your children and your husband. Come on.
Yeah. So.
But there was nobody, they pushed away anybody who could have been like, sweetheart, you good?
And the thing that fucking pisses me off about this whole thing was like, okay, that religion, it's God's work, right? That's their whole thing, is we're doing God's work. There is nothing fucking godly about turning your back on someone that needs you. I could scream. Right. That's not, I would give the shirt off my back if someone walking down the road was cold in a blizzard and I knew I was going to be coming home, and you know what? I'm not a real fucking person.
I know.
Anyways, the Jehovah's Witnesses declined to comment on this case. They literally will not talk about anything. They will not comment. They don't even look. They are steadfast in their beliefs. They don't think they've done anything wrong. But to me, like, and this is my personal opinion, I think that, like, where does faith end and control begins? Because there comes a point where you support someone's faith, but then all of a sudden it's a controlling behavior, because if you do A, B, C, the result will be like,
all this.
1, 2, 3. You're controlling someone. You're telling them, like, you have to follow our lead or you will be shunned. You will be like, it's just gross. I don't like it. There's a reason why we are.
If you are a Jehovah's Witness, if you grew up in the Jehovah Witness church, if you grew up in a different church and you have an experience where you have a differing opinion than us, let us know.
Yep.
We're always,
like, this is a safe space for anyone. If you fucking hate this story and you think we're assholes, tell us we're assholes.
Tell us,
if you have had an experience and you want to share something like that, reach out, because you reaching out and others reaching out will create a community.
I just have to say, so like, our Facebook Messenger has been popping off and I love you guys. You guys are the shit. Every message that we get literally lights up our entire day. So, and it doesn't always have to, I mean, so far it's been all positive, but it doesn't have to be. Like, if you want to
we did have the one. We had that one.
Oh my God. She hated us so much.
Oh, she hated us.
But she was funny because she's like, the only thing triggering about your podcast is your voices. And I was just like, girl, that's fucking funny.
Okie dokie.
That's good. I love it. So yeah, these are, this was a fiery episode and you might disagree with us, and that's okay. We're not saying this from a place of disrespect
or hate, because there's no hate here.
There's no hate. We're just, in our experiences and what we've experienced in life, have a really hard time swallowing this pill.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about it, we're here. We'd love to talk to you.
You'll be
met with respect and understanding. And if you don't want to talk to us, why not?
Why wouldn't you want to talk to us? We're fucking great.
Hello. Ashley, thank you so much for giving us this episode. I think these stories, some of these stories that we tell aren't the loud and, made headlines all over the world, but I think they're just as
They
important.
matter. Those children
Daniel and
matter.
Bethany and
Daniel,
Stephen didn't
they
ask for
mattered.
this.
No.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lauren didn't ask for this.
No.
So
Really.
no, really, this was just a really sad incident. And I think we always need to remember people who have lost their lives to violence. And this was violent and it didn't have to happen. And,
Nope.
It was wrong what she did. And I'm sure she's wherever she is in the afterlife, she regrets every moment.
Of course.
I don't doubt she didn't love those people.
No.
But sometimes when you're broken to the point of no return, you do some fucked up shit. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
my
thank you
dear.
for listening.
Thank you for telling the story. And again, this is Chantel plugging the survey again. Please do the survey.
Please do the
I
survey.
wake up every day and I'm like, did someone else do the survey?
I know.
So,
they're slowly
thank you so
trickling
much.
in, but we really need help with this, so please do.
We just love it so much, guys. I mean,
We just want to be here all the time.
We just want to be here always. Thank you for listening. We will see you all on Friday.
See you Friday. Bye.
Bye.